Hello everyone, this is Mumbo and welcome back to another episode on the Hermitcraft server. It is episode 78 and today we have got some very big plans indeed. For those of you who watched the previous episode of Hermitcraft, you all know that I've been doing some serious redstone designing. We have been building some massive things ready to be constructed on the Hermitcraft server, and I have to say, I'm so excited, but also so incredibly nervous. I mean, seriously, I'm scared to start work on this project, because this is probably the biggest single redstone project I think I've ever done in my entire Hermitcraft series. This is big news, okay? This is seriously big news. So let's hop into my creative world so that I can show you around quickly for those of you who missed it, and then we'll get down to business. So, this guy right here is the guy that we built in the previous episode of Hermitcraft. Now, I call this thing the Mumbo AI, and it's essentially a quest bot that has various different happiness levels. Now, it's sort of like a virtual pet, a bit like Ethos Wilson project, and also a bit like my virtual pet that I uploaded recently, and the god that is Mumbo. Basically, all of those things that we have done in the past. But it's a tiny bit different because it requests certain items, and you have to go out and get that item and give it to this giant guy right here, and then he'll request a different item, and you have a certain length of time to get that item before he dies. Essentially, that's the plan behind this thing. And I think that's a really cool idea, and it's something that I'm super excited about. And I just want to see how long I can keep it alive and basically maintain this thing. And as you can see, it involves a ton of redstone and a bunch of different circuits. So we've got all of the item sorters. This is the randomizer circuit. We've got RS NOR latches down at the bottom there. We've got a smart piston feed tape, which runs out into a red coder, which is synced up with this RS NOR latch array. I mean, there's all sorts of things going on in this build, and it took me hours upon hours to construct in the previous episode, which was pretty much all recorded in creative mode, which was a bit of a strange Hermitcraft episode. But anyway, the first thing we've got to do is we've got to gather up all of the resources for this thing, and also we've got to mine out the hole which this giant redstone contraption is going to be sitting in. There's plenty to do. So I just popped into MC Edit on that other world to measure out the area, and we need a 29 wide by 14 long by 10 deep area in this space down here. So that's just underneath the ground. We also need to clear out this entire hillside to make way for it. Yeah, that's a big old mining project, isn't it? That's absolutely enormous. So I guess I've got to, well, leave my pickaxe as is. I don't know if I'm going to have to repair my shovel or not. We should just pop on with the second account and start filming. Now, there is a chance that I'm in the minority on this one, but just hear me out here. I personally really enjoy watching mining time lapses, okay? It's one of my favorite things to do in these episodes. In fact, I personally absolutely love these parts of the episode because I love watching large areas being cleared out in the space of like a minute. I just find it so satisfying watching all of the layers of land being removed and all of the blocks being taken out. I don't know why, maybe I'm an old one. There's a chance that I am definitely strange here, but it's honestly one of my favourite parts of my own Hermitcraft episodes, and I love seeing it in other Minecraft videos as well. But there is a chance that, as I said in the beginning, I am in the minority here. So I just thought I'd quickly ask you, do you guys enjoy watching these mining time lapses? Obviously, I personally like them, so I just assumed that you guys did, but it suddenly came into my head while I was doing this. There is a chance that some of you hate them. There's a chance that some of you find these things really boring, and if that is the case, please let me know down in the comment section. Just don't be too mean, because it will definitely hurt my feelings. But anyway, let's hop back onto the Hermitcraft server now, because we have got a massive, humongous hole to fill. So here it is. This is the gigantic trench that we have for our giant Mumbo AI quest bot type thing that we're going to be building. And the first impression is, although this thing is big, it looks too small, doesn't it? Am I the only one that thinks it looks a little bit small for the size of the redstone build that we're going to be doing? I guess we'll have to wait and find out. I don't know if I've somehow miscalculated things there or got some numbers mixed up. I don't really know what's happened. But to me personally, it looks a little bit too small. But I guess we should just start chucking in the blocks and trying to work out if this thing is actually going to fit inside right here. Now, as you can see from the previous episode of Hermitcraft, we've got a few items in the inventory. We've got 3 stacks of repeaters, we've got a stack and a bit of comparators, a bunch of redstone torches, some hoppers, some pistons, and other bits and bobs, but we are definitely going to need more resources than that, because, as I mentioned in the beginning, this is a huge redstone project that we're going to be working on over the next couple episodes, so let's gather up some resources. Right, I have just popped up to the drone, and by the look of things, the Derp team have been over. So that is Impulse and Tango. They have given me a Minecon care package, which involves a phone charger, some socks, which is always extremely handy, and white socks as well. That's just pretty top quality. We've got hand sanitizer, we have a toothbrush, we've got underwear, We've got corn floss, emergency spoon, which is definitely necessary. We've got magic tooth potion. Thank you, guys. I could really do with that. I'm in a lot of pain right now, and my root canal is actually booked for the 30th of September, so I am definitely going to have an achy tooth during Minecon. And also we have got fake ID, which is perfect because I've just thought of something. I'm actually under the legal drinking age in America, so there we go. Not that I'm much of a drinker myself, but even if I wanted to, I actually couldn't. So I'm going to pick up all of these things. And I don't honestly know what I'm going to do with them. Maybe I should put on my special socks and my underwear, and then we can prepare for Minecon. Do I look good? I feel like I look prepared. Anyway, speaking of being prepared, let's prepare some redstone resources. Everything has been gathered, and I just want to say massive thank you to those of you down in the comment section for calling me an idiot for not realising that villagers, of course, trade glowstone. It's so obvious. I've been asking, how do I get large quantities of glowstone for ages? Villagers! Obviously, the answer is villagers. So I now have 51 glowstone. He's just looked out the trade, and I don't need much more than that. So this should be perfect. We can craft up loads of redstone lamps, and now we are fully ready for this build. Let's do this. By the look of things, the end has been changed, and it is lethal. This skull, you've made it lethal. Come on, man, what are you doing? You can't have people like me walking around getting killed like this. No, I'm scared. So, my first plan for today's project is to make sure that my smile mechanism is all in place. So, we need to make sure that all of the redstone is hooked up for our piston feed tapes. And I'm just in the process of doing the redstone line for this one. So I think the redstone goes something up like this. And then I think we have an upside down slab there with redstone on top there. And that takes a 3-tick input from this redstone line, which runs right the way across just like this. So all of this will get hooked up. You can see both of these pistons are hooked up as well. And all of the timing seems to be correct. And this level right here is where our smile or unhappy face or dead face is going to be going. This is what's going to be moving around. Then just under that, one block above the grass, we're going to have our redstone lamps. We've got a bunch of space over here for all of our logic circuitry because that's where the brains of the build are. And then over here, we've got our randomizer panel, which is going to be happening off in this section. In theory, I've got enough space. I do believe I've measured out everything correctly. So now I've got a bit more redstone to chuck around. I know you guys are going to call me silly for this, but I've just discovered that you can turn off rain in Optifiner, and by Jove, is it the best thing on the planet. Oh, I love it. It's definitely... I can't believe how good this is. It rains all the time on Hermitcraft, so this is just like the best thing ever. Also, as a side note, you know that redstone that I did on camera just then? It was totally wrong. I do believe that all of my timing circuits are now in place. Now, I'm not 100% certain that all of these are correct, but we're going to give it a first tester. So here goes, placing the redstone torch. I think that was good. I think... Yeah, that's looking functional. Okay, so we have got a working piston feed tape, but obviously this isn't any old piston feed tape. We're going to have to add in the smart functionality, which means I've actually got to gather up some cauldrons because I don't actually have any of those, and start chucking in the redstone output, which is going to run into our red coder, which is then going to go into the AND gates, which are going to be controlled by our RS NOR latch array. Yeah, lots of words floating around here. I don't know if you understand them or not. Do you know what the most frustrating thing is about this build right here? It's the fact that I can't place in blocks easily. For example, if I wanted to place a block underneath this block right here, wouldn't be able to fly underneath and just place it like I do in creative mode. Instead, you have to drop down and do some crazy pillars going out and around like this, which is just really, really frustrating. But we are making pretty good progress, and I do believe we are about to finish the red coder circuit. And I think it goes something a little bit like that. However, I'm not 100% certain. But that's going to run up into these blocks, which then goes up into this redstone, which runs into this redstone line. And that's going to be the main part of our AND gate. So I've actually made pretty good progress right there. We've got our red coder. We've got the output for the AND gate, which runs into the redstone clock, which will toggle whether or not this is actually running. That just means we need the RS NOR latch out the front. And we'll have a large quantity of the logic circuitry done. This is good. This is really, really good. Awesome. Okay. Please go in upside down. Please go in upside down. Oh, that's annoying. Now I have to drop down a level. And as I discussed earlier on, that's a lot more of a pain in the backside than it is in creative mode. I hate survival sometimes. And that right there is one RS NOR latch all completed. So now I have to chuck in a few random items. I'm going to go with zombie flesh, because I seem to have a little bit of that in my inventory. So those are going to be the items on the inside of the RS Snorlatch, and they will go up and down inside our droppers, depending on which ones are triggered. And then the outputs from that go into our AND gate. There is our red coder, and that is the toggle line, which will turn off our piston feed tape. Yeah, I think we're there. I think we're there in terms of the redstone. This is going really, really smoothly. Honestly, I can't believe how well this is going right now. It's only a matter of time before it all goes wrong. And now it is time to change this bog standard piston feed tape into a smart piston feed tape. And the way that we're going to do that is using varied levels of cauldrons and also one powered block. So here is our block. That is going to be powered by that redstone line right there. But also we have got all three of our cauldrons all with filled water. Okay, they're completely filled to the brim. And what we have to do is we have to change those levels from filled to the brim to filled to the brim, halfway, and then almost empty. And I think we're going to do it in that order. So this one has got to be full. Then this one we're going to take one part out of it, and then we can drink that water bottle right there so that we don't fill up our inventory. And then the other one that we've got over here, it needs to have 2 drinks taken from it. So 1, and then we need the other one. Now that should mean that we get a different signal strength for each one of these different parts, which means that we get a different signal strength for every face that is being displayed on the screen. So now we just have to chuck in our comparator, taking the output from this thing, and we should see that the first redstone torch turns on, and that's because this is the lowest signal strength from the cauldron. Perfect. But I've just realized that I've built my RS Snorlatch in the wrong location, which means that it doesn't work properly. That is really that is a little bit upsetting, I have to say. I was ready to test as well. I was so excited to test this thing out, but sadly it wasn't to be. So I think finally we might be ready to test this thing for the first time. So this redstone needs to go in. That then runs down into our redstone clock. And when we place in the redstone torch, that will turn on the redstone clock, and all of our pistons will start moving round. Now, as I mentioned in the creative mode video, this is going to be a relatively slow redstone clock. I mean, as you can see, it's not exactly speedy, but I can't actually remember which one I've selected. I think I've selected maybe number 3. So it should be this one right here, which should stop the system. So when this cauldron reaches this block right here, the piston feed tape should stop moving. Let's see what happens. It has! Oh, it actually works! We've got ourselves a smart piston feed tape that is being controlled by this RS Snorlatch over here. Nice! Nice work! I mean, it's taken a long time to get to this point, but nice work. Just a bit of an update, I keep forgetting items. I have had to go back up to the drone about 4 times in the past 10 minutes, and it's just making me want to cry. Alright, a lot of the face has now gone in. I've just hit the button to see if it's all working, and by the look of things it is. So I hit the outer edge button, which means the outer edge one is the straight face. That one there is dead. And then that one is happy, straight, unhappy, dead. So it sort of works in order, but the starting point is a little bit strange. But it seems to be functioning really well. I'm very impressed at how few mistakes I've managed to make so far. This is crazy. Just a couple things. Number 1, tiny bit stressed out, as I have miscalculated ever so slightly, and we are actually pushing into the area with the spoon counters. In theory, it should only go about this far in, which is a little bit close for comfort, and we are going to have to rearrange some things down here. But other than that, it should be absolutely fine. Not ideal though. The next thing that I want to mention is that I got bored of yellow, so I've gone over to orange. I hope that you like the look of that one. I've placed in all the redstone torches running into the inputs for the RS Snorlatch, which is our automatic happiness detection. And then out the front, we've got all of our redstone lamps. We have got the heart of the build, which is the timer, and we have got the output, which runs into the death line. So there's been a bunch of things happening. I'm going to try my best to keep you guys updated with what's happening, but yeah, it's going quite well. The happiness increaser circuit is now in place. We've got the RS Snorlatch, we've got the redstone clock, which runs it into our little hearts of the system right there, which is the 2 droppers running into one another. And I think that is all of the redstone circuitry that I'm going to be doing today. However, I will do a tiny bit more redstone tomorrow. I'm going to try my best to get the hopper timer circuit in place, which will be sending the items from the top dropper down into the bottom dropper to increase the unhappiness, so to make this thing less happy. I apologise if some of you are sat at home just sat there thinking, I have no idea what you're talking about, because sadly, that's just the way these things go. I'm trying to get things straight in my head as much as I'm trying to explain them to you, which means that occasionally they come out in a very jumbly, mumbly mess. But I hope you are enjoying the episode so far. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to go AFK in the industrial district, and we're going to see how many items we can get in that time. Now, I have pretty high hopes because, you know, I'm feeling positive. I'm feeling positive today. I feel like we're going to be able to stay AFK overnight and we'll be able to get tons upon tons of items. But I just thought that I deactivated all of my item elevators, so we should probably fix that up. Otherwise, we'll have some serious issues. In fact, we probably already have them. Oh gosh. Oh gosh. Oh my word. Oh my word. These things are fast. I mean, that has been deactivated for all of about an hour. Good heavens. Good heavens. That has got a lot of items to clear out. Right, I've got to do the top item elevator as well, otherwise we'll have some serious issues. Oh boy. One full night has passed. We have managed to AFK all the way through the night for once, and we're just going to find out how much roast chicken we've got, which we got a bunch more of that. That's very, very good. We've got... Yes, we are finally getting decent quantities of wheat. We've got, what, around about 5 double chests of wheat. I mean, that's more than I'm ever going to need. So, that's perfect. Right, let's take a look at cactus. Right. That's good. Right, okay, so we have got a bunch of cactus. We've got a similar quantity of wheat. In fact, that's almost identical. How strange is that? But then we've got a bunch of roast chicken as well. These farms are working absolutely perfectly. But now it is time to start work on our build once again. Gonna be honest, guys, after spending a day away from this thing, I have no idea where to even start. All of it looks completely alien to me. So guys, I'm just in the process of hooking up our hopper timer into our droppers out the front, which are going to be sending the items from the top dropper down into the bottom dropper, which means that the happiness will gradually decrease. The only slight issue is that I've just taken a look at the redstone circuitry, and I was wondering why these redstone lines weren't lining up with this redstone circuit over here, because that's what it does in my testing world. Turns out, I have made a bit of a mistake. Quite a big mistake, but hopefully it shouldn't cause too many issues. Basically what I've done is I have built this RS NOR latch over here one block too far over to the left, which is why it goes into the spoon counter. My measurements were correct, I've just been a bit of an idiot here. And that just means that this circuit over here is one block too far over. All of this redstone clock is a little bit further over, but I don't think it should cause any issues. Obviously, if it does start causing issues, then we'll just have to move it over. But for now, I think I'm just going to leave it where it is, because even though it makes the build a tiny bit bigger, it shouldn't cause any problems. That's what I'm hoping anyway. Just the final few pieces of redstone going in for the red coder circuit that goes out the front of the redstone lamps right here. And this one should be relatively simple. I think it's 2 repeaters like that. Then I believe we need a sticky piston going across here and our block on its face, and then we just need to pop down underneath and place in the redstone dust, and that is everything completed. So that means that it will be able to tell where the happiness meter actually is, and it will be able to display the face on the screen according to the happiness of the machine. Now, as far as I'm concerned, I think that's enough redstone for one episode. So far, we have built the smart piston feed tape system. All of that is done. We've built the red coder, which takes the output from the smart piston feed tape, and it compares it to the RS NOR latch, which then runs into the AND gate, which will activate the redstone clock, which runs the smart piston feed tape. We've done the hopper timer, which sends the items from the top dropper down into the bottom dropper. We've done the redstone clock, which sends the items from the bottom dropper up into the top dropper. And we have done the red coder for our happiness meter. I mean, that's pretty good. And we cleared out this massive space as well to make way for all of the redstone. We're doing pretty well in today's episode, but I feel like there's one more thing that I want to do, and that is to actually create the face of this thing, because then it will look like a much more completed project. Whoa! I have just popped up into the drone, and it looks like we've got another care package. This time it is from Scar, Good Times with Scar. Here is some magic dust. I don't know how to make it work. And he has supplied us with 9, 10, 11, 12 stacks of redstone blocks. You know, I was complaining earlier on about the fact that I don't have too much redstone. We've got like enough redstone now to last us forever. Or at least like 4 episodes, I would say. That's insane. Thank you ever so much, Scar. I'm going to have to pay you back somehow. I'll have to drop some building blocks around to your place because I don't know how to use those either. Alright, I have just built this thing freehand, and I have just built all of the hair. I don't know what it looks like. I'm yet to take a look, so I'm just going to finish placing in all of the blonde locks here, and we're going to pop one down and see what this face is like. Hopefully it's really pretty. Hey, that looks good, doesn't it? That looks awesome. His hair is really good. I have done such a good job on that. Oh, there's a creeper after me. That's not brilliant. That will really ruin my day. That looks so cool. I'm so happy with this. Just above the industrial district. Obviously, the beacon in the way is a little bit frustrating. But this guy looks amazing. Wow, I am so happy with what we managed to do today. We've done all of the redstone that I really wanted to do, plus some more. We have done the entire face. We've cleared out all of this space right here. Hopefully, in the next episode, we can do the outputs for the red coder, which will run into the RS NOR latch. We can do all of the item filtering system, and maybe even start work on some of the randomizer bits and pieces as well. Now, that might be like a bit of a bold plan, because, of course, that is quite a bit of work. But hopefully we can just get this done over the next couple episodes, perhaps go to and from a few projects, and basically gradually get this guy finished. But unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, that is all I've got time for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please be sure to hit that like button, and if you really loved it, then make sure to subscribe. But thanks for watching, guys. This has been Mumbo, and I'm out. I'll see you later.